Okay, so today I want to just talk to you for a few minutes about who am I? Not who am I, but who are you? How would you describe yourself to another person? I want you to take just a few moments here and think of 3 or 4 words that you would use to describe yourself to another person. Now, you're not going to have to actually say this out loud in class or turn to someone and say that, but I just want you to take a few minutes and think of 3 or 4 things that you would, phrases you would use to describe yourself. Okay, now with those ideas in mind, I want you to think about how many of those statements about yourself or descriptions or adjectives were positive and how many of those were negative. That has a window into how you view yourself. And then I want to ask this question: is who you are fixed or is that changeable? Are you just born the way you are and that's the way you'll stay? Or do you have the ability to change over time? This week, we talked about the word neuroplasticity, and that's your brain's ability to learn, to change, to form new ideas and functions by forming new neural, which means brain, connections or synapses. Okay? And so the good news is that we do have the ability to change. So if some of those thoughts that you had about yourself were negative, you have an opportunity to retrain your brain and to rethink about how you think about yourself. Many of us have thoughts in our head that maybe are as a result of environment or how we were raised or beliefs that we have that can end up being destructive to us. And sometimes these thoughts might go like this: I'm too fat. I'm too stupid. I'm too short. I'm not talented. I can't do that. I'm not very athletic. And the list goes on and on and on. And sometimes those negative thoughts play in our head like a loop. They just keep coming back. Maybe it was something that was even said to you as you were growing up. You're never going to be anything, or even worse things. But this is the good news: that voice inside your head is not who you are. Then who am I? If I'm not those thoughts in my head, who am I? I would submit to you that you are the observer of those thoughts. You're the one who sees those thoughts, but you're not obligated to believe them or have them hold credence in your life. Is there something you would like to change in your life? I think we all have certain things that we would like to change in our life, but how we deal with those things will determine our happiness or our unhappiness. In our life, we really do not have control over everything that happens to us. Good things happen to us, bad things happen to us, but what we do have control over is how we think about those things, how we respond to those things. It's not life, someone said, is not as much about what happens to you as how you react, respond to what's happened to you. You have 3 choices in any situation. You can leave the situation. You can take action in the situation or speak up or change the situation. Or if you are unable to do the first 2, the third thing to maintain proper mental health is to accept the situation. And if we can get to a place in our life where we look at each situation that may cause us uncomfortableness and think I can leave the situation, I can take action, or I need to accept it, it can eliminate a lot of unhappiness and frustration in our lives. We're trying to reach a state of what we call equanimity. Have any of you ever heard the word equanimity? Um, it's an interesting word that actually means mental calmness. It means kind of keeping your cool in a tough situation, remaining even tempered in a crisis. The type of person that people would be drawn to in a crisis. And so we want to train our brains to be able to react in crisis in a positive manner. So today we're just going to take a few minutes here. We're going to calm ourselves. We're going to have just a time of meditation. And the main focus here is to honor the present moment. If we can learn to honor the present moment in every situation, literally all unhappiness and struggle will dissolve, because in this present moment, you are okay. You have everything that you need. If you walked in here today with a worry, a trouble, I want you to just kind of picture yourself leaving it over there in the bleachers. Just leaving it where you sat. It'll be there to pick up when you're done. But for these next few moments, we'll just take 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. And I just want you to be only the observer of the thoughts in your head. You don't have to change the thoughts. You don't have to agree with the thoughts. You don't have to assign feeling to the thoughts. You don't have to figure it out. All you have to do is just simply recognize the thought and then let it go. And what we're trying to do is create that equanimity, that mental calmness, even if it's just for 5 minutes today, to have that feeling of well-being and to know that you have control over your mindset. You have control not over what happens to you, but you have control over your mind and how you think about things. So I just want to invite you right now to close your eyes, to lay back, to stretch, to get into a comfortable state as we enter in to this time of meditation.